All right, you can go ahead. Talk about Dynamite.
So a bit of a different start to the show was just right into a Moxley vignette.
Really smart to follow up because that was what everybody's talking about from last week. So it's kind of like, no waiting. We're going to get to this right away. I think that
Yeah.
was the right. And I'm not always a segment to start a show guy, but like, I think you kind of had to do that here.
And no intro is interesting. Like
Oh,
no
that too,
show
yeah.
intro.
Like-
It was just this.
right into it. It's almost like this is that important, right?
Yeah.
But, that's cool.
Moxley admitted he didn't enjoy what he did to Danielson, but he did what needed to be done. He talked about 2 years ago they made a commitment to build something sustainable that they could be proud of. And so there's like this kind of interspliced with clips of Moxley and crew leaving All Out, walking backstage. You see Brian being like not even stretchered out, but just like carried by a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Which is weird they didn't have a stretcher. He said he sees egos around him, everything's out of control, and he can't take it anymore. He said their mentor called Brian the perfect wrestler because he was always the Lordship's favorite, but he saw himself in Mox. He said he's far from perfect. He said his mentor, obviously Regal, that said that they are what they are and they can't pretend to be anything else. He's no villain and no hero, but he's the one true king of these lands. He said that they tried Brian's way, but diplomacy has failed, and today I choose war. And then he went into the back of a truck and left.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
A lot. And different start to the show.
It was.
And you would have been around at this time, so I'll say it to you, but it kind of just like the go between him speaking and then them kind of walking through backstage, like the dark cut of it. It felt like kind of dark, gritty, kind of reminded me of the OG Shield vignettes. Like,
Yeah.
something that kind of style, like talking to the camera and then like footage of them kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have you carry on. I just have to look for something quickly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but his rationale makes sense here. Danielson was a lot more aggressive, and even when they formed Blackpool, he was coming off that heel run against Hangman, right?
Yeah.
When they formed. And so now I feel like in Mox's eyes, he's gone soft. His career winds down, and he's like trying to get his fairy tale ending, kind of like what Perry said. Like he's focused on that, right?
It
And
was
so
like
his
you
focus
were.
kind of shift.
We tried your way. You're the empathetic patient one, and like because we sort of gave into that, we didn't accomplish what we wanted to accomplish.
Yeah,
and
so
I
now-
need to send the message that like we're done doing it your way and we're doing it my
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
And so I like that because it made a lot of sense, and
it
like,
does.
it works for him. But I like it 'cause it's a justifiable reason, but it doesn't justify specifically what
The
he
actions,
did.
right?
Yeah.
Like yes, what you're saying makes sense. Is that you want to do this a different way, and he's the guy that you perceive as standing in your way.
But it doesn't justify how you went about
right.
that.
But the message is clearly sent, right? So he sounded fantastic, and yeah, like Danielson was the chosen one, so we sort of deferred to you for a little bit. Like the line of you don't. That's what I was looking for. You don't have the stomach for this, right? Like we're going a route that you can't handle, so we need to just make it clear that we are done with you. I thought this was awesome, and it'll
Yeah.
be all about the follow through, right? Because they've grabbed people's attention for sure, and Moxley, like this is top level guy, right? Like he's in with I don't want to say subtle tweak to his character, but it's not a complete overhaul, but it's also like different and
Yeah,
super
just a
believable
shift.
already.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I love that they addressed this right away, and I like the way they explained it too. It all
Yeah.
makes sense.
I loved it. It was a great start. And
yes, awesome.
we saw Darby skateboarding into the parking lot after, so I
Right.
assume we'll see that follow up later as well.
So awesome. I feel like we were talking about it. We're sort of resetting and getting some storylines that I really enjoy, and some characters like Mox's character is awesome right now. Paige is awesome right now. Swerve's awesome right now.
I even say like with
Danielson's
the next
awesome right
segment,
now.
they're picking up the Luchasaurus thing again,
Yes.
which is another storyline.
So I feel like we were in a bit of a down cycle where I wasn't enjoying some of the stuff going on, and I feel like after All In and All Out, we're sort of like reset buttons hit, and I'm enjoying stuff.
Yeah,
So
for
this
sure.
is a good omen for the show for me.
sure. Then we hear from Christian Cage. He's out there with like his contract, and he's got his peeps with him, not the fans, but like the patriarchy.
Yes.
He told Lexington to shut up while he conducts business, as usual. He claimed that his son, Nick, has said the word on the street is that he has infinite aura.
And just so,
That was horrible.
but the beauty of this is like the guy who plays the father figure using like the teen language for cringe effect, right? It's like so.
Oh, it
on
was
brand.
perfectly done. I hated
Yeah.
it, but like
He's the dad, so he's gonna try and use the kid language. Hey, fellow
Ew.
kids, like I have infinite aura.
He did-
So yeah, I love
he
that.
did it pretty well here.
did.
Christian said he's carried this company for the last year and a half. So it's true. He said the trios ladder match didn't go their way, but they rallied to win, and he won the gauntlet match at All In. He said when Kill Switch grabbed him by the throat in the gauntlet match, he saw something that he wanted to see for the last 2 years. He said he realized what Christian needs him to be as the most complete big man in the business. And he's like hyping him up, and you see Luchasaurus getting hyped, and he's like, but he belongs to me. So it kind of like
Yeah. You're
brings
still
him back in line.
property, basically.
Yeah. Fans are chanting Luchasaurus more, so he said his name's Kill Switch. So again, that's picking back up a bit. He said Danielson's days as champion are numbered. And he said he'll beat Brian so bad that his wife Brie will wish she was the one with CTE, so she couldn't comprehend how embarrassing Brian has been as
That was
champion.
tough.
Who does have CTE? Does he? Or like
I think it's that Danielson basically may have been suffering from that or will be or something because a part of his like head and neck stuff, maybe,
Yeah.
right?
Christian said not only is he the face of TBS, but he's the reigning, defending, undisputed next AEW World Champion, which will be a funny thing to run with for a while until he cashes in.
Yeah, and I think that's the point, right? Is we're going to get little Christian segments where he can just rip on people and he doesn't have to have
he'll
matches.
Proclaim himself as the champion, but like not yet.
And just this looming threat of him basically like Money in the Bank.
And then I think with this, like, I enjoyed picking up the Luchasaurus angle again because they started that early in the year and then kind of dropped it for a while. I'm assuming that it has to pay off when Christian tries to cash in. Like, we're going to kind of work our way to that. And then when Christian tries to cash in, Luchasaurus is going to be like, nope.
Yeah.
And then, no way Christian's winning the title, right?
They have stopped and started that so much.
Yeah. So I feel like that's the only way this has to go, right? Because I don't see Christian winning the title.
There's no chance.
And I feel like this angle has to pay off. So I can see this happening by year's end.
And yeah, I think we're just going to get little segments like this along the way. And Christian was savage here, and it makes me laugh, right? So the aura thing and the CTE stuff I thought was entertaining. So I'm always glad that
this is peak Christian. This was classic Christian.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
No complaints there. This is the Christian we love to see. And again, like, no offense, don't need him in the main event. So Luchasaurus better come through.
I agree. And I hope that's where it goes to, because I've been waiting for that to pay off, right?
For sure. Then we get an Ospreay Callis interview. Callis said he called Ospreay here, and he talks about he's undefeated in Casino Gauntlet matches, and we have the tag one tonight. So they suggest for him to team with Fletcher because Mark Davis died, I guess.
Careful.
Ospreay says he appreciates Don doing him the favor, letting him out of the family and go on his own, but he wants to focus on the international title. Callis, like, in like the perfect slime ball way, is like, I wasn't gonna bring that favor up, but since you mentioned it, like, just perfect for Callis. He says Ospreay does owe him one.
He does.
Fletcher says he's tired of coming so close and coming up short.
Same.
If anyone knows him, it's Ospreay. So Ospreay says he's no Davis, but he agrees to it. He kind of like shakes hands with him and Callis, and then there's like a bit of this standoff with Takeshita.
Takeshita's the odd man out here. He does not appreciate it, I don't think.
I don't know why, because it could either be animosity from the match they had, or animosity for not being picked to tag with Fletcher.
Right. Why are you bringing an outsider in? Are you saying he's that much better than me that you're going outside your family to make a tag partner?
Right. So it'd be interesting. Sure. But I really like this. Fletcher and Ospreay is a great duo, even if I'm disappointed because it feels like a bit of a slight to Aussie Open.
And it's a bit of we're making a super team, but
it is.
It's an awesome tag team I want to see.
I get it if Davis isn't ready, but it's still I just want Aussie Open back.
And if this is the catalyst to like unleash the Takeshita fury,
that is true.
I'm okay with that as well, right?
The 10 standoff with Takeshita and Ospreay is interesting. I'm wondering if it's lingering hostility from Revolution. I'll take that rematch anytime. I've never seen that. And I thought Takeshita just looks so cool standing there.
He does.
Like, he just looks.
Yes.
He's got that aura.
And that he's unhappy. We're not sure why, and we're hoping it's the start of something, or at least
he's just got that. I mean, he does have his own thing going on.
Got that aura, as the kids say.
He does have something else going on, so there's also that.
Right, he does.
Ospreay and Fletcher clearly win tonight. Callis crowed too much about Ospreay never losing a gauntlet. So, kind of telegraphs it.
I didn't even notice that, but in hindsight, yes. And especially once you see who the other tag teams are in the gauntlet, you're kind of like GYV's in there, but they have stuff to do. You know what I mean? They're already doing stuff, so it was kind of
they didn't even really get in
do
the
anything.
match.
No.
So, yeah. Anywho, then we get Jack Perry defending the TNT Championship on TBS against Leo Rush. There is Snake Eyes.
Leo Rush?
Yeah.
How many Rushes are coming out as you read this? Over, under?
We'll see.
1.5?
Hopefully under.
Under? Yeah, I think now that we've pointed it out, I think if I hadn't said anything,
maybe.
There's a chance. But now.
Snake Eyes on the apron from Perry. Misdirection in the ring and then some speed. Suicide dives from Rush. Like, he He goes fast on
And
it,
it
and
looks
it's
like
like, and
he's
he goes
actually
low
making you
pay.
miss instead of like it's a prepared spot. It
Yeah.
actually looks like they can't catch him.
Rush with the standings finish live for 2. I just keep thinking about it
I
now.
know, right? I'm in your head.
Perry lawn darts rush hard in the middle
Looked
turnbuckle.
awesome.
That got a 2 count. That always looks good. The one on Marco stunt that he hit like a
Yeah.
few weeks ago. That one was just nasty. Poison Rana from Rush. Then Rush misses his bottom rope springboard stunner. Perry like kind of sidestepped, ran him the ropes, hit his running knee, then hit a second one to get the win.
First one could have been timed a tiny bit better. I get
I
what they
thought
were
it was
doing.
timed
It
really well.
still
I thought
looked
it was
good.
cool.
It still looked good. It didn't catch him out of midair, is what I would have hoped.
No, but I feel
That's
like
all.
that's a little
Still looked
unrealistic,
good.
so I'm okay with what they did.
And Andretti got involved, but didn't really like. He was there, but didn't
It's
do anything.
I think it was smart because like Perry was goading him for a while and kind of teasing him. So then when Andretti did get slightly involved to get payback, obviously he gets ejected, even though he's
Right.
babyface. And for some reason, people cheered that.
Right. So this is kind of a cop out, I guess, but I enjoyed this for what it was. Right.
I thought it was
Like
pretty good.
I thought it was interesting because Perry's not a big guy, but Rush is so small it allowed Perry to wrestle as like the bigger aggressive guy.
Yeah.
While this guy tries to run circles around you. So I just find Lio Rush is really fun to watch and unique, right? Like there's nobody really working the same as him. So I thought, like, what was this, like probably like an 8-minute match, I think it was.
Not long.
So I thought it was fun. He had to make up for the chance, like Leo's not winning this match, so they gave him a bunch of time sort of in the middle of it.
Mhm.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was a solid TV match. Rush has a really entertaining and unique style, so he's always fun to watch. He's got that different kind of speed and intensity that's fun to
And he's
watch.
so small, he makes you believe that like the only shot I have is by being so much
To
quicker
outwork
than the
him,
other
yeah.
guy. Like so
Yeah.
you kind of buy into it, right?
Perry was good too. He kind of picked the spots around what Rush was doing. While not as good as the one Marcus did, the lawn dart always looks pretty
Looks
killer.
really good, yeah.
The first one you have to hit, that he hit sidestepping stunner, I thought was cool. That was well timed. Random, but a solid defense for Perry.
Agree. One of those like momentum. Yeah, that's the other thing. He has to get momentum back after losing to Danielson, right?
Yeah.
He's got to sort of start over
It's
again.
a TV
Not
title
start
open
over,
challenge,
but you know
I
what I
guess.
mean.
Then there's an interview with him walking backstage. The only thing of note that he said is people like him are crucified in this life so they can be worshipped in the next.
The
Thought it
more
was cool.
sacrificial imagery
He says cool things.
Yep.
Then we get an interview with Angry Hangman.
Mine says
Page.
Hangman with Renee, and he's mad.
It's your girlfriend.
It's your girlfriend,
and
I'm mad.
Paige said if he found 1,000 houses that Swerve Strickland called home, then he would have burned them all down. I love that. Just
So good.
not after what he did and what I had to witness, just do the complete opposite of remorse.
He's a believable psychopath right now, right? Like he's
the
really, really good.
It's kind of highlighted by his interaction with Dark Order here, but like the contrast between this and 2021 Hangman when he was fighting the Elite is crazy.
And that's why the guy is so talented, right? So we loved babyface Hangman and like the self-doubting sort of insecure
Fight for the Fallen entrance 2021. I'll cherish that forever.
And now he's this, and it's still awesome.
Yeah, it's just I love the audacity to just completely double down on what he did.
Yeah, not only am I not sorry, I will do it 1,000 times. Yeah.
He said he meant every word he said to him while saying his payback for what Swerve did to his family. And I like that because, like, obviously what Swerve did was messed up invading his house, but, like, burning the house is, like, it's so far in the other direction.
And that segment we will talk about on our end of the year awards for sure. That'll come up.
That match, the segment, the feud.
Everything.
Paige said he meant it. He said if you try to protect Swerve from him, he will find you and hurt you. He walked away, then he knocked down one of the top flight guys. Dark Order, he walks by them, and they're like, we don't even know you anymore.
Yeah.
Then Jarrett says something. I don't even care. They fight. People break it up.
But I think the point, like, forget that it's Jarrett, because that's not our ideal choice, obviously. But Paige said it, right? I'm still obsessed with Swerve, and if you get in my way of Swerve, or you try and whatever, then you're my next target. So I think that gives Paige...
It does make sense, but
it gives Paige a way to, like, not keep going with Swerve directly now, but still get to it. And anybody that tries to talk any sense into him, like, he's just... And so this is just the first one, and it's Jarrett, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I like that that's a path for Paige. Like, anyone that tries to talk me out of this or gets in the way of Swerve, like, you're done.
Where's best?
And I think Paige looks awesome, like the crazy hair and the mustache, and he's killing it for me with this new character, especially...
Where's best character? There it is.
Especially like on the heels of the match they just had too, right? So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I'm not thrilled that it's Jeff Jarrett. Everyone that listens to us knows how we feel about that, but
I
I
added them to best feud and then best character for Hangman.
so I get where they're going with it, and I kind of like it. Just Jarrett wouldn't be my
Jarrett is
first pick,
so far removed from the choice I would make.
right? But I guess the point is, not for us maybe, but Jarrett's gonna garner a ton of sympathy when Hangman just kills him, right?
Didn't
There's
they
a bit
already
of
try
that
that
too.
though? That
Yeah,
was
I
literally
guess.
Hangman's return match with Jarrett.
I know, but now he's like
Worse.
unhinged and
Yeah,
psychotic,
worse.
so maybe that's what it's for.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I love that he's not in the slightest bit more sane after getting what he wanted.
No.
He's just, if anything, pushed him over the edge. It makes sense. I just enjoy that he's just further down this path. Jarrett's a horrible spinoff, waste of time, but
And so he's still obsessed with Swerve, and everything he does is still somehow related to Swerve until he gets back to him directly.
I love this. I just also want anxious millennial cowboy Hangman back.
I know.
And also, but like, it's so weird because I don't know if you can ever do that again. I mean, you can, but like, can you?
I think so, because at that time I would have said, it'd be really hard for him to do psychotic, whatever, violent Page because he's so believable as this.
You can always go there, but then now it's like I don't know how he goes back to sanity.
Yeah, it's true. But he's a good actor in the world of wrestling, whatever. His character development is really good. And just like he has a legacy feud. Like this is like, I don't even think is this hyperbole to say that Swerve Page is like an all-time wrestling feud?
I think that's been
if
talked
not
about
there on the cusp of there.
I think it's been talked about in some circles. Personally, for me, on like not even my Mount Rushmore feuds, but like just my favorite feuds in my lifetime.
It's there,
probably
right?
One of them, yeah.
Right. I think at least there's an argument to be made.
I think it for sure. If you're talking AEW, 100%.
Yes.
All time, I think it deserves to be in the conversation.
And if it continues going forward, it's just going to add more.
Both of them are young enough.
Agree.
To have a few more years of this for sure.
I think
at least
so.
Until one of them's out of the company.
Yep.
And I mean, we know Swerve's around for a while. I can't imagine Hangman leaves. So
I don't think so.
I would hope not, because
he fits perfectly for them.
He's perfect here.
Yeah.
Then we get Private Party and Commander versus Jobbers.
Nope.
One of them is Serpentico unmasked.
Right.
John Cruz.
They actually name check him when he gets taken out here.
It's interrupted before the match starts, and everyone gets laid out by the Pack Pool Combat Club.
It. I put PCC in my notes. Okay.
Until
Respect
Moxley
Pac.
gives us the name, it's the Pack Pool Combat Club.
Yep.
And Play, of course.
And Play.
Well, I guess she's part of the Pack.
Do we have some thoughts on Play? I mean,
hear me out.
Okay.
If it continues on this trajectory, she at least gets nominated for Best Non-Wrestling Performer.
If she doesn't wrestle, yeah, you're saying? If it stays on that?
If it stays on this trajectory.
Without speaking.
Like if she's like a China heater for DX that doesn't wrestle.
That's kind of how it feels.
I'm just saying, if they keep it like this.
She's smashing it so far.
If it, like.
And not many people were more critical of her than us.
I'm just saying. But anyways, Pat grabs the mic. He says, this company is broken. I wish I was British just so I could do this with justice.
And angrier.
And angrier. He said the company is broken. He said what happened at All Out was inevitable and they are inevitable. He said he was lost for a long time, but not anymore because he has something to believe in. He said diplomacy has failed. This company is theirs. That is a summarization.
A straightforward follow-up to Moxley's stuff, right? Like
a killer follow-up.
Here's our personal issues with Danielson. Here's our larger group collective issues with this company, right? So I thought that was awesome. And then you had Shafir just holding Commander in a guillotine with like this dead stare on her, like the coldest of cold. I thought she looked awesome.
Yeah, Commander's just like slumping over.
And I also like, I don't know if this is intense.
And it's cool, like just because she's also choking out like a male wrestler, so it's also that's kind of cool, right? Like,
and she's believable as this heater. I really like it. And also, I'm hoping we're capitalizing off of. I know he didn't win, but the amazing match Pac had, and he's got probably a little more attention.
I do think there's something to be said for the momentum coming out of that. Even losing, I think there's something to be said about that.
I'm hoping, and so. Yeah, this idea that it's not just Moxley's group, other people are going to speak as well. I think that setting that precedent.
I agree. I really enjoy Pac got his time in the spotlight here. I was saying to you, like, he could easily be the spokesperson for the group if that's what they wanted to do.
Yes.
Obviously, I think Moxley probably should be and can be, but I do like that we get some time for Pac, and I hope they intersperse his work in the group because his promo style is so good, and especially now that he's definitively heel. heel pack is always a better pack.
And it allows Shafir to do absolutely nothing. And I'm not trying to say like she can't. I'm saying, but in this role right now of not saying a word, and even just like, is it late? Are they back again later? Because there was
They are.
okay, so that
Moxley
must be
is.
what it is. Oh, that's what it is, right? So I'll talk about it then. But she is believable as she's the first one walking ahead of them, right? And that kind of like she's protecting them, and it's believable so
Mhm.
far. So I'm
Yeah.
super happy
Well,
with
this is
this.
great. Pac always sounds good. I love his promos so much. It's
I
just
know.
I
And
always look
people are like, it's
for.
always the same. Yeah, but it's always intense and like
It's
that's
also
him.
just always different from everyone else,
It
at least,
is.
right? And I love just the way he speaks and his word choice every time. Like, just he's got a different cadence to it,
Yeah,
and I love it.
I agree.
Everyone looked good here. Looked killer. Play looked awesome. Choking out Commander. So far, so good in this angle. They've just been like
We are
batting
saying
at the
play
thousand here.
looked awesome.
Yeah,
That is
that is
crazy.
crazy in 2024.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, they've just been hitting home runs with this so far. Like,
Super interesting.
even just from like the first Moxley promo piqued my interest immensely, and
Mhm.
it's just been smooth sailing from there. So I'm really thrilled with this so far.
Like I'm excited about Dynamite and waiting for next week to come.
I'm always
Right?
excited
So
just for this. Like, this has
yeah,
been my main excitement week to week.
and then
And then we do. I was about to say we do a complete 180 with the Learning Tree promo.
I knew you. I thought you might. My
Um,
first note: Jack is on his phone, and I am typing NXT notes. It's like immediately, like full disclosure, like disengage from this.
Yeah, he has a new car. He's wearing the jacket. Cassidy ruined. He stole his backpack. There's something in there. I literally wrote this is my thoughts on this. I was on my phone the entire segment. I did not care. No idea why we were revisiting this feud from 4 years ago randomly. No want.
So I think the only detail that we need to note, because I noticed it, was Jericho says something like, you can't trust anyone in wrestling, or there's no friends in wrestling, or whatever, and you see a little spark of recognition on Big Bill's face. So I think we're going with the like Big Bill baby face.
Already?
I feel like even just breadcrumbing it, but it was the whole like, you can't trust anyone in wrestling, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm in a group with you, right? Kind of thing. So I feel and add that to how he's been received lately since they were wherever overseas,
Cardiff.
right? I think maybe it might be what's called like a trial balloon, right? You float it out there, see what people talk about. If they're interested in it, listen to obviously us because we're cutting edge.
I'll talk about it after this match. They are listening to me.
The brain trust, I'm sure, of AEW are tuning into this going, listen, they seem kind of interested in
Will
it.
Washington.
Will Washington.
Washington.
But yes, it's Learning Tree. It's dumb.
I don't want it.
I agree.
I say you have Cass split from them.
Yeah.
Enzo and Cass, baby.
Oh God, I don't know. Enzo, his mic work was good, and then he got lazy, kind of. But
Oh, I don't want it, but I want it.
no, thank you.
I don't want it. Then we get Ricochet versus Samuel Guevara, first Dynamite appearance since, I don't know.
My first note says Guevara's hair is a choice. What was it? Oh, he had
Hippie
like
bun.
a top. Yeah, that's right.
Hippie. And he's tag champs with.
Oh no, he is tag champs with Sammy Guevara and who would it be? Not Briscoe because he has a singles title.
Well, which one?
He's ROH champion.
Okay.
Yes, Guevara.
Let's play this game again and see how we do.
Guevara is tag team champions with. You talked about it last week.
It was like, I think it was 2 weeks ago, to be fair, but
okay,
still.
so then I have no shot.
But still.
It
was 1 or 2 weeks ago. It was fairly recent.
I don't know. I'm not.
Dustin Rhodes.
Oh well, okay, sure.
And Dustin Rhodes, what is his other belt?
Trios
With
2 other guys.
Yeah.
who is it again?
Von Erichs.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay, who has the women's TV title?
I was confident that it was somebody last time, and it wasn't. Red Velvet?
Yeah, okay, you got it this time.
Because I thought it was Billy Starks last time.
That is true.
And I was confident about that one.
So this is the
Still
one I answered for you last time. Who is the men's TV title?
Men's TV title. I don't know.
Atlantis Jr.
Oh, I'll never get that. We're going to revisit this every week, people, until I learn.
Okay, last one that's funny because Athena doesn't count is the pure title. I don't know if you'll remember.
Your title is... Oh, Moriarty.
Okay, so yeah, that one you do remember.
So I retained like 40%.
You
or something.
retained some of your knowledge.
Pretty good.
I just suddenly forgot. You forgot Dustin Rhodes that hard.
For a person
already.
of my vintage, that's okay. Okay?
This is my new favorite game to play. Is
God.
what's going on in ROH?
And it's not like well, not kayfabe. This is shoot me just not knowing these things or remembering them.
It's like the
That's why you're
anti.
here.
It's the anti off the top of your head.
It is. It's off the bottom of my feet.
from the back of your mind.
Yes, something like that.
I'll just do this. I'll do my monthly ROH check-in now and just
Awesome. I'll study now.
I'll wait like a week after they do the next pay-per-view and just like see if you even paid attention to that at all.
No. If I saw headlines, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking is like maybe you'd see that, but even then I don't even know.
Chances of me remembering it a couple days after I saw it.
That's true.
Not great.
Dave Bautista might come into ROH as Prince Puma.
Oh, like he dropped a bunch of weight.
Anyways, Spaceman Plancha from Ricochet. The way he like turned on that was beautiful.
It was pretty much perfect, yeah.
Moonsault at the top of the entrance tunnel from Guevara, as you do.
Also, super graceful.
Tornado to the outside from Guevara. Running shooting star from Ricochet for 2. Guevara countered out of a fireman's carry into a destroyer and a huge diving cutter for 2.
I said crazy far, like the distance he had to cover, right?
And the precision on
like
that.
He's not hit. Oh, yep, no problem.
Yeah. Guevara cuts off a roll through move from Ricochet, nails him with a knee strike. Ricochet counters the GTH, nails an axe kick to the back of the head, followed by Vertigo for the win. Then after the match, Mordos runs and absolutely tackles Ricochet with a spear.
Ricochet Mordos.
Absolutely checks him. It was awesome. Guevara chases him off with a chair.
So all due respect to Fletcher, I thought this was a better showcase for Ricochet.
I agree.
He did more of his
the styles were there, yeah.
Yeah.
Ricochet, I feel like there's still a gear he's not tapped into, especially using Vertigo as a finisher is so...
I think this was exactly what you'd expect between these two for the time given. I thought it was like...
Yeah, because it wasn't crazy long, so I think what they did made sense.
Not a psychological masterpiece, obviously, but like two super athletic dudes hitting really impressive stuff really cleanly, right? Like nothing was off here at all. And I thought Ricochet dialed up the fire in the last like sequence kind of thing that I thought was good. Something he needs to do more, maybe. So I thought this was like a really strong mid-show, TV match. And then like, if you listened and watch us, we love Taurus. So the idea of a Ricochet Taurus, and I said to you in the moment, like Taurus as a base for Ricochet is like a dream for Ricochet, right? So that I'm super looking forward to that.
I literally requested this match, and they're listening to me.
Now, I think we do need at some point, like always with Ricochet, we need some character development with him, right? But I thought this was a way better...
I'm not holding my breath, though.
This was a better showcase for him, I thought.
Super entertaining match as expected. Similar style between both these guys, so they showed up. Maybe suffers a little from falling Pac Ospreay so soon.
True.
But it's still a good TV match. Results never in doubt. Good to see Guevara in action because he's always quality in the ring. Character kind of varies.
Agree.
I love the Moros run and post match. Spear was nasty, and that's a sweet match set up. They have to be listening to me because I pitched both a Guevara and Mordos match for Ricochet, and they are listening both. So I pitched both of those.
Amazing. Sponsor us. Actually, no, I don't even want to be sponsored by AEW. Then I can't say what I want to say.
No,
But it depends on how much you want to sponsor.
I do want that because
if it's early retirement money, let bring it.
I also just want to see what they'll give me. See, I could easily be persuaded with a free Rock Hard T-shirt.
That's right. That and by payment, that's all it would take.
It's that and the Bang Bang.
And every week we'll be like A+ Dynamite this week. Here's why Learning Tree is the segment of the year.
The long-term storytelling capabilities of Chris Jericho to stretch a story across 4 years.
Jericho makes another star on Dynamite this week. We will sell out hard, right? Like
Jericho just he wrestles Lee Johnson, and I'm just like, he made Big Shotty look like $1 million.
We will be unrecognizable from week to week. Like we're try to be super objective here and whatever, and then next week it's like, WWE is terrible.
You just see me adorned in like
Anna Jay is possibly a generational talent.
You just see me adorned in like the Juice Robinson shirt, and I'm just like the crisp connection of her thigh against Soraya's face. The match of the year potential on this one. It might have been my favorite match of all time.
Jeff Jarrett for one more run, am I right? Last run?
Jeff Jarrett to retire Bryan Danielson, ? And then Sting comes to retirement to retire Jeff Jarrett?
Yep.
I feel like that's what...
We're going full shill mode.
Will Washington is the most important person in the history of the universe. Anyways. That's true.
He might be.
That's just a fact. But if you want... I don't need to wear this shirt. I can get the Rock Hard shirt and all will be well.
Shout out Will Washington.
I've said to people, I it's my destiny. That shirt is my destiny.
Fair enough.
It will be mine. If I don't have it by December this year, then I'm gonna give up on life.
Wow.
My New Year's
Strong.
resolution will be to wear that shirt once a week.
You could make that work.
Maybe I'll do twice a week, actually, just so it's like somewhat ridiculous.
Buy multiple copies of it just to make sure.
Do you like the Charlie Brown thing, except it's just rock hard?
Exactly. Same shirt every day.
That would be funny. Anywho, then we get an interview with Okada. He talks about the match at All Out. He teases like, "Oh, it was so hard fought." Then he starts crying. Then he laughs and said it was easy. Callis walks in with Takeshita saying Okada won, but he didn't beat Takeshita. Okada said he'll be a champion, putting him over, but not the Continental Champion. Okada walked off, and then he came back to say, "Bitch." Takeshita got in his face. That was cool.
Yeah, Okada still amuses me.
Great little interaction for sure.
And like, let's build a feud with these two, right? And I don't want to go through it too fast, to be honest. Like, if it means
we got like a month, I think.
Yeah, so I think like this is what people want, and they've recognized this, right? Because in the multi-whatever match, you could see that this is the matchup people wanted.
You could hear it.
I'm fine with this.
Takeshita again, he looks so cool and menacing,
And
just
people are like,
standing
"Oh,
behind Callis."
They're underusing him for the stature that he has and like the money they're paying him, but like doesn't mean there's not a plan for him to
Okada?
be, yeah. Like, doesn't mean there's not a plan for him to be at the top of the card
Plus,
eventually.
I'd argue the fact that he's got a major title or major's title, and he's in the arguable top faction, although that may be usurped by the Pac Bull Combat Club.
Of course.
But arguable top faction, we'll say. I think Okada's still in a pretty prime spot just because he's not in the specific main event title picture, or having the world title doesn't mean I think he's being wasted or he's underutilized. Like, yeah, he's got the mid-card title, but I think it gives that title some status, and he's super entertaining every week. Like, he's still being used.
Yeah, cut to Jay White going like, what about me, right? Like, he could have been treated like Jay White is right now.
Yeah, Jay White is injured, to be fair.
Yes.
But
even still.
Jay White was doing good before that, like with the trios titles, which again is a step down for him, but Bang Bang Gang's awesome.
That's true.
I'll always allow Bang Bang Gang.
Yep.
But Cal did the talking perfectly here. It has to happen to Wrestle Dream, because like when I think Wrestle and Dream, I think of Takeshita with a belt.
Yep.
Just makes
sense. Gonna
happen.
happen.
Takeshita finally gets his golden moment. I need Tony Khan to give me what I want, or I will start punching all the chairs. Listening. I will punch all the chairs in this household.
Tony Khan, or, because we don't exactly know the power structure, it's Tony Khan or Christopher Daniels or the Young Bucks, whoever's in charge.
Or maybe even Will Washington. I don't know what power strokes he has.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, if Takeshita doesn't get this belt in a month's time, I will punch every other chair in this household.
Every other?
Well, I already punched one chair.
So spare mine.
No, I just meant I
all
punched
of the ones
chair
but the one you already punched?
Yes.
Not like punch, no punch, punch, no punch. Every other chair. No, words matter to me. I want to know what's in
every chair.
What to know to expect.
The family room chair.
Okay, gotcha.
And if worse comes to worse, I'm gonna start kicking the couches.
Fair enough. So start with the one you guys already broke upstairs.
Yeah, the ball is in your court, Tony Khan.
Nice.
Then we hear from Darby Allin. He comes out, says somebody's been looking for him, Moxley, and he said he's right here. He looks in the corner of the arena because he's not stupid.
Correct.
So,
I mean, he's stupid at the end of this, but we'll get to that. Darby?
Stupid.
Yeah, I'll explain.
Well, offering his title shot? I guess he doesn't get anything in return.
We've talked about the negative free rolls. You don't make a bet where you can only lose things.
I agree, but I guess for him, he also hasn't beaten Moxley yet. So
then you're a dumb baby face. A little bit.
I'll take it.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it'd be funny. Moxley someday has to, like, in the ultimate heel move, has to do the reverse misdirection, where instead of coming like surprise attack from the crowd, he comes down the ramp, surprise attack, because like Darby's expecting from the crowd, so it's like you expect from the crowd.
It's a chess match, really. You know, you're anticipating their move. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And then what were we talking about? Was that in the street fight where it was like Willow lifted her in the corner without the tax, and you were like, and then she countered, but you were like, she knew she was gonna counter, so she lifted her away from the tax. Right. And we were talking about like the mental chess layers, match there. Yeah,
exactly. Oh, there's levels to this, okay?
Yeah, that's what it was. So Moxley's music hits. Again, I love the New Japan theme here. It's just like the darker tone of it's just so perfect for what he's been doing. Like,
it is.
Again,
it fits.
Another tweak to the character I really enjoy. So he's walking out. He's joined by Just Shafir. So again, she's the heater. She's his guard. No one like
So
Pac,
cool. I don't get it, man.
Pac and Claudio aren't there, but worth noting was
Which also kind of sends the message he doesn't need them because she's badass enough, right? So it's almost like you're further saying this about her.
it does kind of communicate that, yeah. And I was thinking, we never saw the trios belts with Pac and Claudio, so I'm curious what the situation will be. I was looking at it the other day, and they're still billed as the trios champs with Yuta, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But it is a point of curiosity because obviously Yuta is not affiliated with whatever this is. So
Whatever this is.
I don't know if like they're Blackpool now, or if it's like
I doubt it.
I don't know, because like also on the site still was that Danielson still billed in Blackpool.
They may not want to give up that brand if it sells merch, right? So
I think it's like it makes sense because like Danielson and Yuta
Could be.
really like realistically half of the faction's still there.
And you're also saying that you were the chosen one of Regal, and it's called Blackpool Combat Club because of Regal. So then it let Danielson keep. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It's weird. So yeah, like Danielson's still building in Blackpool, and then Pac and I guess Lucha Bros because they're still under contract. They're still building under Death Triangle. So it's weird. Like Pac is still billed as Death Triangle, but
He's straddling
It's-
factions.
not there. I mean, I saw someone say was I think Authors of Wrestling who I follow on Instagram because he's the one always posting live about AEW and whatever. And he was saying could be like Lucha Bros leaving could be one of the best things for Pac because this is a good spot for him.
It is a good spot for him.
I mean, selfishly,
Death Triangle, we love.
Still
Don't get
want
us
Death
wrong. It's
Triangle.
my favorite wrestling shirt of all time.
That's fair. And also now the dream of Death Rhombus is dead. One could argue that this is Death Rhombus with the three of them in play.
You want it that bad. You're talking yourself into like
this is the compromised Death Rhombus.
Clay has gone from like our least. Did she win Worst Wrestler?
I don't know because
He was mentioned. I think she doesn't wrestle enough.
I don't think she's prominent enough, and like
now like a pillar of Death Rhombus. That's a big, that's a big.
And
180.
also when she was prominent in NXT, that was long before this.
Yes,
but like, yeah, I mean, I guess she's gone to being a pillar of Death Rhombus.
Wow, which is your dream, but not her necessarily.
No, I think for it to be Death Rhombus, it has to be Death Triangle still.
Yeah, I agree.
But
as much as you want,
much as I've
this
always
is your
wanted
Death Rhombus.
This is T-Mood. Packpool Combat
came
Club
in a very damaged packaging that took a couple weeks, and but it's there. It's a thing. The rhombus is there.
The rhombus is there. It's
destroyed.
Damaged. Some of the components are mixed up because it's not Lucha Bros, but
you kind of knew that going in because you couldn't afford the whatever the non-Temu one.
Yeah, exactly. The eBay,
maybe
Amazon.
I don't know. Sponsored. They don't sponsor us. They don't get any.
That's true. Even though we got Clue. Oh, I forgot to
next
tell
week
you.
We're sponsored by AEW and Amazon. You watch. You heard it here first.
I didn't tell you, but I watched the Clue Blu-ray last night, and so it's cool.
Nice.
When you click play, it gives you the option. You could either watch the theatrical version where you have the option, with the random ending, or with all three, the home release. So I thought that was really cool. So I ended up doing the home release because I just wanted to see all the endings again.
The Clue, the movie from the 80s, people, based on the board game. If you haven't seen it,
it's awesome.
It's amazing.
It's awesome.
We just got it on Blu-ray.
Tim Curry of Home Alone 2 fame.
And in a tour de force, as they say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because what was it?
He's amazing.
I don't remember why. There's like, I actually was laughing a lot when he like
the part of
the part of the movie when he's like reenacting everything.
Yes.
And he's imitating
like
Peacock and
just running around.
But when he's specifically doing imitations of the other people, and he does it perfectly, and I was actually dying. He's
amazing in that.
Oh, I love Tim Curry's awesome.
Star-studded cast too, whether you know it or not.
I don't know anyone other than Tim Curry.
Well, Christopher Lloyd is the professor from Back to the Future.
Oh, I totally see that. Yeah, you're right.
Is Colonel Mustard
Plum?
Oh, sorry, Professor
You're
Plum.
thinking Plum.
Colonel Mustard is Martin Mull. Miss Scarlet is.
Scarlet looks familiar, but
they're all somebody. Trust me.
I looked up Tim Curry the one day because I was explaining to Caleb, but what happened to Tim Curry?
I don't know. Did he get canceled?
No, because I see some pictures of him with his face all disfigured.
Oh, I don't know.
Or in a wheelchair or something. It looks
weird.
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, there's our Clue talk.
Yeah. Anyways, Moxley comes out and he said nothing's changed between them. Alan said enough. They don't act like superstars. They came from nothing. He said everything he owned he could fit in a trunk of his car. Allen gave him everything, or AEW gave him everything, so he doesn't take it for granted. He spoke about his first year in wrestling. He looked for a hero, and people would show how fake they were. But Moxley didn't change for anybody. So Allen wanted to be like him. He spoke of Moxley still wrestling in high school gyms because he loves this stuff. And you remember when he got to wrestle his hero, Moxley was saying that he lost. He loved being in the ring with him on some indie show. My guess would be CZW.
A fair guess, I think.
But Allen yelled at Moxley for what he did to somebody he was close with, like Danielson. Said he would never do that to somebody he cared about, like Sting. To went to you what you said. Sting's indestructible. He would destroy you.
Clearly, he would destroy you.
He would like
nothing you do would have any effect, and
Sting would suffocate the bag.
You would take a reverse DDT and be done.
That reminds me. That kind of talk. I saw this real Instagram that was but jokes with Chuck Norris. Cause I think the joke is like
that
Chuck
used
Norris
to be those used to be huge, like
alpha male, like
10
whatever.
Years ago, yeah.
One of them ones was Chuck Norris drove his mom to the hospital when she was pregnant with him.
Exactly. Those were huge, a decade or whatever.
It was just constant stuff like that, and that was like one of the first things I watched this morning.
Probably spawned why Chuck Norris appeared on Goldberg's, I bet you, because he was super relevant from all of that. Those Chuck Norris jokes.
That would have been like a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, Moxley mentioned that Allen has a title shot at Grand Slam on the 25th and said that the champion is indisposed now. So that at least gives a good reason as to why this match is happening there. Because I was like, doesn't Darby have a title shot at this show? Why would he give it up?
Right.
But that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Moxley said that's a good thing because he told Darby he's not ready, but he's going to need Allen to hand over the title shot to him. Darby wondered if Moxley had been dropped on his head or if he'd been drinking again.
That was, that was I like
something.
that.
Darby told Moxley he didn't earn this because Allen earned it and he dared him to do something about it. Mox said he'll earn it and he wants a match with the title shot on the line and he'll show Darby how low he is on the food chain. He said he believes in Allen, loves him, while saying he's always had his back. He said he never lied to Allen and the title shot will be his, and this time he's going to teach him a lesson a hard way. Allen accepts, and if he says if you want to burn AEW to the ground, don't be surprised if he pulls Mox into the fire.
Good line.
I thought that was good. And Mox left.
So yeah, other than what I already said, like Darby's kind of dumb for making this. I still like the rest.
I can understand if he says Mox is his hero and he finally wants to get that win against Moxley, right? There's a bit of pride there. I agree, you probably shouldn't be giving up the title shot, but I can also see where it works well enough for me.
And I like that Darby's going, listen, I came into this, like, for lack of a better term, like corporate wrestling company, and I'm an anti-corporate guy, and I looked around and the only other anti-corporate guy was you. So, and you were doing that and being super successful. So I look up to that. And I also think that explains, like, so Moxley's like, because we have that, I'm showing you the respect of, like, I'm telling you, you need to just give me that title shot because anybody else, exactly. Right. I'm extending you that courtesy because we have whatever, but like, you should probably just give it to me, dude, because you're not ready for me to take it from you.
Yeah.
And Darby's going, no, I am. So again, at the end of the day, Darby shouldn't make that deal, but
I think it does kind of make Darby look good though. Like Mox gives him some credibility here, and then Darby's kind of standing up to him.
Yes.
In a way.
I really like the direction this is going again. Everything Mox is doing right now is like working for me. So another good segment, yeah.
If Mox keeps this trajectory, he'll at least get into Wrestler of the Year. He won't win it.
No, hell no.
He could get in there.
Yeah.
Or even best character. We'll see.
That's what I was gonna say. Like character wise, possibly, right?
Yeah.
Although I don't know, Hangman's in there. There's a lot of good candidates.
Hangman might be my one.
I would also throw Gunther in there.
Perhaps.
Watching him every week, he's killing it. Even this week with Brett, I enjoyed.
That was,
which we'll get to.
Such a good line.
Yes.
Good stuff from Darby and Mox. Darby sounded good again. Sometimes he's not as strong on the mic, but I thought he delivered his story well and it sounded real enough. There's got to be some grain of truth to it. So
that's exactly it. I think it's that kernel of truth of you are an extreme guy that still does stuff on the indies and stuff, and I really respect that, right? So I think there is a kernel there, probably.
Mox is never anything below stellar, so he's quality. I really love what he's been doing in this new direction. I do feel dumb for not guessing he'd be after Darby's title shots. Like, that just makes sense.
It does.
And I never thought
And if
of
it's
that.
evidence of that news story, right, where they maybe were leaning into Darby and then going, oh man, Mox is back with like this amazing, so let's shift gears. Who knows? Interesting though, regardless.
Danielson's kayfabe injuries also gives him out to book this match instead of Darby Danielson. That'd be great too, but I think this works a lot better. Looking forward to it. Mox versus Danielson has to be the play, and like I said before, I knew all this. Mox could be the one to retire Danielson, so
he could, but I just hope it takes a while to get there. I guess I don't know. I'm not
I
looking for
mean,
it to end that soon is all I'm
I feel
saying.
like it'll be a Wrestle Dream. I don't know. Like,
That feels soon, but yeah,
it is, but also I feel like Danielson can't be going that long.
maybe.
Then we get Christopher Daniel's interview. It's pretty quick. Nigel cuts him off and says he has to speak with Tony Khan, and that's basically it. Feels like it has to head to a match with Danielson.
For sure.
I see now they've been building this all along.
Right, and so my hope is, because I told you, Nigel used to be really, really good, so I'm hoping that we didn't love his performance, right? So that was shaken off the ring rest, right? And I'm hoping, but he didn't look impressive to me. Physically, like, in shape, heck yes, but I thought he looked a little clunky and
He
whatever.
was a little clunky, yeah. And like, you also haven't been a big fan of his commentary this year, but
But
now it's
explains
like,
why, but I still don't know if it
if
was worth
I
if the
agree,
juice is worth the squeeze, you know, as I
but
say.
now it does make sense. And there was rumors of him returning in the ring a while ago, so I guess it all, I see the light
And
now.
hey, good for him if he's healthy enough to be back in the ring, like, great. It's just I'm hoping that was the shaking off the ring rust and we get a strong match.
Yeah. Then we get Mariah May versus Queen Aminata in a women's world title eliminator. This was the match that got both of them on our
Yeah,
radar. So this is a
you're
cool thing to
right.
see.
And I
First
thought it delivered again, to be
first
honest.
Dynamite of the year was their first match against each
Aminata is
other.
cool, man.
Yeah. German suplex from Aminata, running kick to the jaw with May against the ropes from Aminata for 2, like just really nailed that. Draping DDT from May for 2, running shotgun dropkick from May followed by a running knee, and she wins with a Storm Zero. May says she still hasn't had her celebration, something's missing, so she asks Nina to come back.
Yeah, so a couple really useful things accomplished here. At the end, we figure out what May's next opponent is, right? I think we're going into an angle with Mina,
I could see that, yeah. And it
which
also
is
explains
fine,
why she hasn't done her celebration yet, because she keeps kind of putting it off, right?
right? Until because she needs her there, sort of thing. And man, I thought this was like both of these women work an aggressive kind of snug style. The
I always
strikes
do
looked
really
really
enjoy the
good.
pace that they keep, yeah.
Um, I would love to see more Aminata on Dynamite, right? Like I think she's really interesting, and I like this match. And May continues to impress, and so
Mhm.
does Aminata. So I thought, and yeah, we learned where we're going next with May. It looks like so. I thought this was a good women's match. It didn't get a lot of time, and of course, you pretty much know the result, even though it's an eliminator. What we've had one eliminator win,
2
two.
this year.
I knew this wasn't going to be one, but I enjoyed the match.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hit hard.
Yeah, solid slugfest between these two again. I enjoyed it for what it was. And if Nominata got built up a bit more, I'd like a title feud between them since they kind of had this like little thing going on,
Something
and they
going
have that
on.
in ring chemistry, right?
Yes.
Looking forward to Mina coming back. I feel like Storm has to show up during that ceremony thing. And I wonder what role Mina will play.
Hmm.
I could see it being a feud with May, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because Storm wants a rematch, right? So we'll
I would
see.
assume so.
Yeah.
Young Bucks promo. Matt says everyone wants someone else to step up, and everyone's mad at them for staying on top. But they should be mad at the other teams for not stepping up and relieving them of their duties. And that's why they booked the tag gauntlet tonight for someone to step up. And that was the gist of it.
So they're kind of addressing my criticisms of the tag division, but putting it in like their own like. It's not the creatives holding them back because they can't say that, right? They're just
Yeah.
saying someone needs to step up, which is sort of how I feel.
Yeah,
To be honest.
for sure. Yeah, it was solid, and it did kind of address that. And hopefully, some interesting heaters show up for the gauntlet. Not much.
No.
Then we got a recap of Jamie Hayter's return it all in. Then we get the Luring Tree against Bear County and Jack Jamison.
Bear County.
I just called them that because
FNS favorites.
they're the Iron Savages now. It
They
doesn't
are.
really matter. Jericho's wearing the Mimosa stained jacket, gimmick infringement for Ika Manjiro. Jericho slaps Bowler, gets dropped. Go Bear County. Jumping headbutt, Diamond Dust from Keith to Jamison. Jericho tags in, does like the come on, baby. Does it? He actually pins him.
And pins successfully.
Jericho's still mad about Ruined Jacket. He directly said it was over 4 years ago. Why are we still on about this? Jericho says he'll keep taking stuff from Cassie like his backpack. There's a pic of him and best friends in there. Cassie pays Jericho back by dumping $7,000 worth of pennies on Jericho's new car. All I wrote was not necessary.
I don't think the visual of the money being dropped on the car was quite as like. I guess it's like
felt Attitude Era.
but like it would have been bigger. It would have been like burying the car in it if it were Attitude Era. You know what I mean? This was like it's going to be like hail hitting your car, I guess. Which causes. Anyways, I don't know. It was and like a squash match leading to a backpack contents reveal. Like, oh, okay, this is love this show. This was like Learning Tree was
Learning
the
Tree takes
problem.
it down for sure.
Correct.
Then we hear from Nigel McGuinness. He said, since Darby's putting his title shot against Mox at Grand Slam, there's now no world title match for Danielson. He says that's great for Danielson staying at home, but it's not good for AEW, and the world champion should be competing. He talks about how long he's had to watch Danielson from the sidelines as an afterthought, and the success Danielson has should have been his. He says Danielson's afraid of him in the one match everyone wants to see. Tony Khan isn't, and he knows a money match. He says he'll face Danielson at Grand Slam, and Oasis will play him in the ring, and he asks if Danielson would join him to the final countdown, or have we already seen the final match of the American Coward? The ball is in his court.
So there he references to a couple mainstream songs, as you said, right? He'll enter to Oasis.
Was that his thing?
I guess. I
guess
see.
because Danielson used to use final countdown.
I
so I know
didn't catch
that.
Nigel in ROH. I caught him in TNA.
TNA, that makes
So
sense.
I'm not quite sure what was going on. But yeah, I mean, I talked about it. So my thing is hopefully now we're done with his animosity on commentary towards Danielson after this because it really annoyed me. So again, just hoping they have a good match because they could for sure. So I don't know. Everything I said about Nigel, I already said. So.
Yeah, solid promo, and like I said, it makes me wonder if all that commentary has been leaning to this. If so, that's some decent long-term booking.
Mhm.
Because it's
Yeah.
been most of the year at least.
For sure. And that's where it seemed like it had to be going, right? It just was like, but he's kind of retired and Danielson's about to retire.
I just never thought it was actually like he was actually going to come out, you know?
Yeah.
Then we get a Hook promo. He talks about respecting Roddy, but not this version of him who jumped from behind, challenges him to a match, dares him to take the title, something like that.
Your tone and recap matches my energy of fine, I guess, question mark. Like,
Yeah.
this and the learning tree stuff were the only things on the show I didn't think were like strong, probably. And that's good to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of there.
Then we come to the Team Casino Gauntlet, which
Too soon to do another gauntlet, or you're okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I find them enjoyable.
I
so-
like the fact that it's not singles again. I
At
like
least it's
them
different.
too. I just don't want them to like
Yeah, for sure.
overexpose it. Or
Winners
whatever.
get a title shot at Grand Slam. We start off with FTR against the United Empire boys, Fletcher and Ospreay. Cash pops Ospreay over him into a slingshot powerbomb from Dax for 2. Fletcher made the save there. Paraplex gets a 2 count on Ospreay.
Always fun to see.
The Righteous enter next. Black Hole Slam from Dutch, followed by Swanton Bomb from Vincent for 2.
I like Dutch a little bit.
Snap half and half suplex to Vincent from Fletcher. And then middle rope cutter from Fletcher on Dutch for 2. OGK enter next. DVD from Bennett, followed by Taven with just the tip on Ospreay for 2. Acclaimed enter next after a commercial break. Couple finishers on Dax. MXM Collection, formerly the Maximum Male Models.
Yeah.
They enter next.
Star-studded match this was.
They've been getting some TV time on the other shows, so at least like it's not the worst choice.
It's not.
Combo offense from MXM to Bennett. Big ol' multi-suplex spot. Top flight enter next. Tandem offense to Dutch. I wrote in brackets Dante versus Ricochet, question mark.
Yeah. That would be really fun.
Be back and forth between Ospreay and Dante, which I think we did in the first Casino Gauntlet.
The crowd was very much anticipating them touching and enjoyed when they were.
I think this also happened in one of the previous gauntlets.
Yeah.
Smash contrapted into Bowens. Everybody breaks the pin. Outrunners enter next, and people are excited.
They love Are they like? I mean to assume, are they from that area or something? Because they got.
I think the Outrunners have been gaining traction, but maybe they are.
Yeah, their retro gimmicks kind of fun.
I've seen them getting pretty popular.
And Turbo looks like you just. They look like you plucked them from the 80s.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Outrunners, punches, and body slams for everybody. Tandem body slam to Dutch. Outrunners are over, I wrote.
They are.
GYV enter next. Brawl with FTR on stage. So they're gone. Outrunners hit their finisher on to Mansoor, but Vincent breaks the pin. Fletcher drills Bennett with a brainbuster.
Awesome.
Really cool finish. Dante goes for a splash on Fletcher, but he gets the knees up, which leaves him perfectly prone to a hidden blade from Ospreay. Fletcher pins him while Ospreay holds off Dio Madden, whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever his. I don't know.
And the United Empire boys get the win.
So yeah, another really good match, and I think they do have something with these gauntlet matches, right? As long as they sort of don't hit them too many times, but it's unique to them, right? And it's kind of a cool match. And again, you don't even know how many competitors there's going to be, so that's kind of fun.
I think it's up to 21, obviously, but you don't know how many you're going to get.
21 tag teams, that would be crazy.
Yeah, because that'd be 42 people.
And despite like many of these teams, let's be honest, are almost like enhancement talent, but I thought there was really good action. Like
I
you
thought
said,
this was still really fun, and the format is still just really good.
And the outrunners were super over here.
That was fun.
I do wish an established team won, but also Fletcher and Ospreay are going to be a super awesome team to watch. So a good match with stakes to end the show, right? A main event that mattered and affects things going forward. So I thought it was really fun.
Yeah, it definitely got crowded since we were dealing with tag teams this time. Not all the choices were like big time, but it was still good. No outsiders, so that kind of sucked. I would like to see some heater from somewhere else.
We agree.
If they weren't signed, ABC would be my
just an opportunity for somebody new to show up.
Yeah. This is still fun and fast paced, kept me entertained. Smart starters in the United Empire fellas and FTR. A lot of good action. Osprey and Dante solo outing. FTR great in and out. Outrunners and Righteous got some love. Outrunners were over as hell. That was pretty
They were.
fun. Fletcher and Osprey getting the win makes sense. Doesn't help the division that guys who haven't teamed together in a while won, but a match with the Bucks should be killer at least.
I agree. Overall, man, this was my favorite Dynamite in quite some time. Outside of Learning Tree stuff and Hook stuff, like I pretty much really liked, and it's the storyline stuff. It's Blackpool is awesome. Darby was awesome. Mox and Pac speaking got a chance to speak was awesome, right? So, and I liked all of the matches on the show as well, to be honest. So I gave the show an A minus. I thought if the Learning Tree were only on once or one more match were a little bit more blowaway, it would be an A show. But like this, the first hour and like quarter of this flew by to
Yeah,
me.
it was an easy watch for
I
sure.
really enjoyed it. I went A minus. I thought it was a super strong show.
I think I'll agree with that because I really enjoy the Moxley stuff, and it was like 3 strong bits of the show.
Yeah.
It's super interesting and it keeps me engaged every week, so I'm really excited to see where else that goes. And none of the matches are bad. I would have liked something more notable, but like
Guevara Ricochet was cool, right?
Guevara
And
Ricochet was really fun. The opener was pretty good, and the main
right.
event was really fun. So
Women's
like
match was good.
we're one like better match away from a better grade,
Agree.
but
Or one less Learning Tree segment.
or one less learning tree segment. Yeah. But yeah, this is still strong overall, so I'll agree with that. Really strong Dynamite and a good follow up from like the kind of doubleheader pay per view
Yeah.
time.
We're in new directions with a certain people, and I'm really enjoying it. Looking forward
Yeah,
to
Wrestle
next
Dream
week.
could shape up really well if like this if the stories keep progressing,
Yeah.
kind of crescendo there. And we'll I guess kind of on the way to that we'll have Grand Slam, which will be TV, but it'll be some major stuff happening with a couple of the matches on there.
And that's kind of why I was turning to Raw a lot, because there were storylines on there I was really into, and AEW was sort of lacking in that department. And now it's sort of turning where Raw, I'm like, some of them have been going on too long or seem repetitive, and AEW's got some fresh ones now. So it's
Mhm.
kind of like a cyclical deal, it feels
It
like.
is a little.
But really good show. We'll move into next segment. We'll challenge you with a little bit of trivia. We like to call it off the top of his head.